Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the last year. This is the 2024 Chevrolet Camaro. Huge shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this American muscle car for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. This is the convertible, as you can tell. It's the 2SS. It's finished off in red hot. They have a starting MSRP just over $47,000. Now this is powered by the 6.2 liter small block V8 paired to the 10-speed automatic transmission. It pumps out 455 horsepower, 455 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the rear wheels, propelling this 3,800-pound American muscle car from 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. It has a top speed of 165 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 19 gallons. You'll expect to see around 22 miles per gallon in the city, 30 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 110.7 inches. Its overall length is 190.2. It has a width of 75, a height of 52.6, and its ground clearance measures in at 4 inches. Now, as we work our way back to the front end of the Camaro, it has a very nice classic design to it with the chrome Chevy bow tie, along with the thin upper grille. There's also the SS logo, and then a very slim set of LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. And then in the lower section, there's also some DRLs, and then a lot more cutouts to provide additional cooling. So both in the middle and on the corners on both sides. And then there's two hood stripes for this particular model with the functional heat extraction vent finished off in gloss black. And then as we work our way to the side, this has a very nice set of gloss black wheels along with the color matched Brembo brake calipers. So it's a really nice setup for this model. There's also a very small Camaro logo right on the side. There's the body colored side mirrors, really nice lines that run down the side. And as you can tell, being the convertible with the top down at the moment, I think it has a really good look to it. When you have the soft top up, still retains a great design. So that's why you're buying this vehicle, of course, so you can have the top down, but I think it looks great either way. Now in back, the stripes do continue. You'll notice those on that massive body colored spoiler. There's a camera right in the middle pedestal there. That's correlated to the rear view mirror, and then the backup camera is just above the license plate. There's also the third brake light, the 3D dimensional designs for those LED taillights. There's parking sensors as well, and then that quad tip dual exhaust, which we can take a listen to since it has remote start. And it has that great V8 sound to it. Now on this key fob, you can also double tap this button to open up the trunk, and you can hold on this button here to put the top down. So you don't have to be in the vehicle to do that. It takes a little bit of time, but you can put that down before ever getting into the vehicle. Now you can also use that release up underneath, and with the top down, this is the amount of storage that you get. You have to have this locked in the up position for the top to go down, so that way it knows that you're not going to crush any items. But with the top up, you can fold that flat and get a little bit larger of a trunk cargo space. So it's not all that bad. With it down, it's still versatile either way. So you can put some items in, or you have the back seats to place some additional items as needed. Now as we take a look at the interior, this has a nice design to it with the leather. There is some plastic. There's the memory seating adjustments, window controls, side mirror adjustments. There's actually 4 different windows for the Camaro. So there's 2 for the back seats, which you can use this button here to toggle between front and rear windows. This has the Bose audio, there's a trunk release button, and then a little bit of storage just behind that. Camaro is also down on the door sill, and then a really nice set of leather seats. Now there's this button right here. When you pull on this release, that's how you can push the seat forwards. From there, you would have to use the automatic adjustments to further move the seat forwards. But with the top down at 5'10", I can obviously hop into the back where legroom is going to be a little bit tight. You're not buying this for a full 4-seater. There's also wireless charging in the middle, and then obviously there's no headroom restrictions with the top down. So I could be pretty comfortable in the back. And then with the top up, I don't really have any headroom. So if you're a small kid, if you have kids, you still want a sports car, you can put your kids back here, or if I had to ride around town, I could make it work for just a quick road trip. This model also gets the interior lighting. So that's in that brushed accent right there. Now front seats is a different story. You have a good bit of space. There's also the solid and perforated steering wheel with that flat bottom design and the SS logo. But let's fire this back up so we can take a listen to that V8. And coming back to this gauge cluster, the tach is on the left side, miles per hour is on the right. There's also fixed information running across the top. And then you can go through some more of that information using these buttons on the right side, where there's also some Bluetooth controls. So there's quite a lot of vitals that you can scroll through here as needed. You can also go back and go into info. So when you go under info, you have some more daily driving vitals that you can monitor and scroll through all of this. And then when you go back, you have performance. There's also audio, navigation, phone, and options. You can go into launch control as well as a few other settings here. So not a ton of info, but it's nice to have that. Now this is also equipped with paddle shifters, and then on the left side, there's the heated steering wheel along with cruise control, there's favorites, and then volume on that right side. Now on the left side, there's the head-up display adjustments along with a dimmer switch and one air vent there. With the head-up display, it's currently showing miles per hour and the speed limit sign, and then you can also pull up the compass, look at your RPMs along with your G-force meter, and then just miles per hour. Now with the infotainment system, currently it's showing the navigation. If I push on home, you have all these icons that you can further go into. So there's the ambient lighting, there's also the climates, so you can use them within that system. There's My Chevrolet, you can go into Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and then there's also the split design here for the home screen. So pretty easy to use. There's also some shortcuts in the lower section to further get through all of that, and then some more adjustments underneath that with volume and tuning. Now below that, you'll notice there's a small LCD screen for the temperature dials. So if you rotate the fan outside surrounding here, that's how you can adjust the temperature for driver and passenger. There's also the heated and ventilated seats, where you'd like the air to go, fan speed right in the middle, and a few other adjustments. If we put this into reverse now, there's the backup camera with the guidelines, which you can turn on and off. Then there's drive and the manual setting for the paddle shifters there. There's also traction control and then a few different driving modes. So you can go through all of these depending on how you are driving this for the day. There's a 12 volt and the e-brake, 2 cup holders. You get a little bit of storage in the center armrest, as well as plenty in the glove box there. And then, like I mentioned earlier, this has that digital rear view mirror, just to give you a little bit better visibility if you need to use that. And then here's the control for the power top. So you can use that to put it up and down. And as far as visibility goes, with the top up, you can still see around, maybe a little bit of a pillar there, but you can look out of that back window and of course look over the side. As we set off now behind the wheel for the Chevrolet Camaro, I've been able to drive a lot of Camaros over the last several years, and now it has come to the last model year for the Camaro. If you've been following along with it, 24 is going to be the last call, basically, very similar to the Dodge Challenger, even though that's coming out with a fully electric version for the 25-year model, I believe, or 2026. But the Ford Mustang has brought a new redesign for 2024, and Camaro doesn't have anything. So if you really like this vehicle, you're going to have to find a used one or buy a brand new 2024 before they stop making it. Hopefully Chevrolet decides to come out with something, because that's been one of the 3 iconic American muscle cars that you can get: Mustang, Camaro, and Challenger. I personally really like the Camaro. I think it's something that looks really nice. I don't see all that many of them either, so maybe there's a sales issue with them versus the Mustang, which I see a lot of, and the Challenger as well. So maybe Chevrolet is going off of numbers like that, but it'd be really nice to see some kind of new, complete redesign, refresh. I know a lot of people do complain about the interiors for the Camaro because it hasn't changed hardly at all over several years. So with that mini tangent out of the way, hopefully Chevrolet does something with the Camaro. But now that we're in the last year here, it's a fun vehicle to drive. There's a lot of different engine options you can get. You can get the coupe, you can also get a manual transmission. And so just depending on your budget, there's a lot that you can go with. And they all drive very nice. And it's hard to deny that this is a stock vehicle. That V8 sounds very, very nice. I'm a huge fan of how these V8s sound when they are done properly, because you can ruin it a little bit if you don't put the right exhaust on it. But this is stock. And the paddles are very smooth too. I do prefer the manual transmission, but if you don't want that, paddles are very responsive. You can row through these gears pretty nicely, even though this is a 10 speed. So it does allow you to play with the gears. If you're doing some mountain driving, second, third, fourth gear, you can play with all of those without worrying about the rest of them. But even with the convertible, for the speeds that I'm doing today, it's very comfortable and composed on the interior. Soft tops have become very well insulated over the years, so that way there's not as much wind noise, but it can depend, of course, on where you are and the weather for the day with how windy it can get. And from second gear, here we go. And just like that, we're up to speed with a mild acceleration for that naturally aspirated V8. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Chevrolet Camaro. I think it has a good outlook from the front here. You can see a little bit of the hood bulges there, but we don't have too many blind spots. You can see that passenger side of the hood very easily, so you can place the vehicle on that right side there. And it's pretty comfortable. I do wish this screen was a little bit higher or maybe angled slightly different, but with this being the convertible, I can see it being angled back, so that way there's less glare on it, which is nice. So Chevy took some time to really think about the screen placement, especially when the top is in the down position. Now, I won't put the top down in today's video. It's what you would expect for a convertible as far as wind noise goes, and when you have all of the windows down. Now, what is a huge plus is that you can keep all 4 windows up with the top down to help eliminate some of that crosswind, but you can also put all 4 windows down and leave the top up. So if you want that open cross breeze, but you also want to stay protected from the sun, if it's a hot day like today with no clouds, you have a few combos that you can do with this. So very versatile for a convertible if this is the kind of vehicle that you are looking to get. But that is going to wrap it up for the last year for the Chevrolet Camaro convertible. Once again, huge shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.